front in, bumpers on, bonnet clean, hole in the door fixed, needs a bit of a polish, door cards on, dash cleaned, seats cleaned, but very smoky. To do a re-bleed on the brakes, so I just took it out of the garage and I repositioned it and get it up, get the wheels off, ready for bleeding. Following on from the Smokey video yesterday, the reason I think why it's smoking is when it ran out of fuel a while ago and it flooded and I had problems getting it started again. I put 10 litres of normal unleaded fuel in and I put about 50 to 100 mil of two-stroke oil in that to do a premix, and I think that might be a little bit too much, seeing as the oil metering pump's already putting oil in as well. So I'm going to run it for a little bit, get rid of that fuel burnt off a little bit, and then put another 10 litres in to dilute it down. So that's where that went to. The repairs, seen all these before. This was fixed and the door's been fixed there. We had it out yesterday. I've put it back in the garage so it's centralised so I can get it up onto the axle stands. Bleed the brakes again. While it was out on the drive, the blooming power steering pipe blew off again, which was the one I've repaired before. It's down there. You can see the Jubilee clip. It's a high pressure hose and it broke off on that union, so I've just put a Jubilee clip and a rubber pipe round, but it doesn't look like it's enough to hold the pressure for the power steering. So I think what I will do is just for now temporarily, so I can get the engine started and do a few other bits, I'm just gonna, oh that's heavy, I'll just take off the power steering belt so that power steering pump doesn't run, drain the fluid out of it. The engine will run, it'll just be very difficult to start. Charge the battery up. We've got the clutch, master cylinder and slave cylinder on. The clutch pedal's been adjusted so there's no play on that now, it's not sticking. The bumper's back on with nice clean lights in it. Number plates are on. The door cards are on the inside. This side of the car is untouched. I've done a bit of polishing down the other side while I could get in. Let me say that. Oh, door cards are fitted. Everything still needs a bit of a scrub up. So next job is up on the ramps. Try and fix the power steering pipe. I don't know how I'm going to bodge that. Bleed the brakes. And then there's the side mouldings, which go into these holes here. They just plug on and then across the bottom with some captives. Unfortunately, the inside of the mouldings have rusted away that much. This is the inside of them. See, this is where the clips used to go, but the bits are just missing. They've just rusted off, so I think it's going to have to be Tiger Seal, Mansouri glue. Yeah, so that's the next steps. There's the door repair. It's not too bad. I'm going to say before, the base coat of the paint's a little bit wrinkly, which has made the top coat clear coat a bit wrinkly, but it should come out with the orbital polisher. And then the roof's a mess. There's no power steering fluid in it, so I don't need to start it, otherwise it'll spray all over the floor in the garage like it did before. It's gone on the driveway there, it's made a right mess. So while it was idling on the drive as well yesterday, it drove in and out okay. As I was driving it backwards and forwards, the ABS light came on the dash. So I don't know if you remember, on this wheel, I put an MX5 speed sensor on it instead of an RX7, which looked the same. It had the same resistance, did the same job, but it might need a few turns of the wheel to clear that. It might not clear, so that's to investigate. When I tried to drive the car back in after it was up to temperature, as soon as I put some revs on, put it into gear and let the clutch out, it was stalling and I had no power. So I don't know what the problem is there. It's either a lack of boost or it's not fueling correctly when it's up to temperature. Could be a sensor problem, but again, that's got to be diagnosed later when I can actually start the car. So on to the next jobs. It's up to temperature and it won't drive now. As soon as I try and go anywhere, it's just cutting out. So I can rev it very slowly and it increases. As soon as I let the clutch out, it tries to die back. There's plenty of smoke coming out the back. So there's not even enough power to drive it into the garage. That boost gauge keeps moving, so it's not going to go back in the garage.